We've got breaking news. The man who is suspected of having shot 5 people in Northeast Portland back on Saturday night has been both identified as well as now being charged with both murder and attempted murder. Those charges happened just as we were doing this. We want to give you information about this individual's identity as well. He was suspected of shooting and killing a racial justice demonstrator, as well as shooting a number of other people this last weekend. Identified as Benjamin Jeffrey Smith, a 43-year-old in Northeast Portland. His identity was first reported by anti-fascist researchers and then the Oregonian. And we want to give you information about this if you haven't been following this story. Demonstrators say that the shooting happened after Smith allegedly started yelling at a group of racial justice protesters holding a, quote, Justice for Amir Locke demonstration at Normandale Park. Locke, who is black, was killed by Minneapolis police serving a no-knock warrant earlier this month. Witnesses to the shooting say that people attempted to de-escalate the situation when Smith pulled out a handgun and then fired into the crowd, killing Brandy June Knightley, a 60-year-old, and injuring 4 others. Witnesses said a protester returned fire, hitting Smith, who is in critical condition, according to the Oregonian. We know something about the woman who was tragically killed. Knightley became involved with the protest movement after a George Floyd march passed by her home back in 2020. Since then, she's attended many demonstrations and often worked to protect protesters from traffic and other interference, a job she was also doing on Saturday when she was killed. Smith remains in serious condition in a hospital and now will be charged with both murder and attempted murder.
So this is exactly what we're worried about with the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. That they were going to view this as a green light, go to any protest about racial justice or left-wing protests, and go with a weapon. And don't worry, if you kill people, it's no big deal. And here's this guy who often talked about violence, loved his guns, 100% part of gun culture, right wing, etc. Went to a racial justice protest and killed a 60-year-old woman and shot 4 other people. Because he's tough, because he was keeping the peace, because he went there to protect people. No, he didn't. He went there to fire his weapon. That's why they all go. They have fantasies about it, and so then the minute they see a protest, they're like, fantastic, I might get to kill other human beings. So that's what he did. Thank God he's charged with murder. I hope he gets convicted and put away for life. 60-year-old woman he shot. Where's the keeping the peace part? Nothing. All these right-wingers are liars. They have no interest in protecting anyone. They just show up with a weapon to kill us. That's the extreme version of owning the libs. And now it's everywhere.
Yeah. By the way, this guy that absolutely loved guns, there's the added irony that rather than standing in solidarity with the people who were horrified by the killing of Amir Locke, who never should have been shot, let alone killed, he instead goes and confronts those people because he doesn't actually care about the content of the protest. He cares about the person that they're protesting in support of and all of that. So you've alluded to some of his views. We're gonna give you more details on that. Christine Christensen, is the roommate of Smith, says he talked about wanting to go shoot commies and Antifa all the friggin' time. He was just a sad, angry dude. He talked about wanting to do this for a while. He was angry at the mask mandates. He was angry at the damned liberals. She said Smith slowly became more radicalized starting in the later years of the Obama administration and accelerated during the Trump administration. At times she heard him yelling racial slurs in his room and deriding women. And so, what have we said constantly about right-wing media and how they spin these people up into a frenzy? Hundreds of thousands of them, maybe some of them go out and do something like this. Maybe some people end up dying. It's not on them. They're not responsible. They just make people go insane about mask mandates and BLM and Antifa and the commies and the socialists are coming for you. And maybe a 60-year-old woman has to die. It's no skin off of Tucker Carlson's back. Ben Shapiro, they're not gonna change their commentary at all. They'll double down on it as a result of this. Anyway, there's more about his social media posts. I am sometimes hesitant to share this because it's so difficult to know absolutely sure that they've identified the right people and the right accounts. It is believed that all of this is accurate, including references to Proud Boys, how they should shoot up people. This is what he had said online. about being willing to just shoot at a second's notice. You can't wait because these Antifa, they'll shoot you even faster. Of course, that doesn't happen in practice. He was a fan of what Kyle Rittenhouse had done, didn't think that he'd done anything wrong, of course. And what do you know, amongst others, and by the way, this by itself doesn't necessarily prove anything, he did follow Andy Ngo, who travels around the country, palling around with these militias, these wannabe killers, spreading deliberate misinformation about protesters and anti-fascists. And hey, what do you know? More violence against them.
So a lot of people follow a lot of folks, and
that's true.
Just because somebody subscribes to doesn't mean. But Andy Ngo was talking about this particular protest, okay, and of course inciting. Oh my God, the Antifas, etc. And so whether it's legally inciting, I don't know that we'll ever find out, because the precious right wing cannot be touched by law enforcement. So if you murder a 60-year-old woman, fine. It took a while, but they arrested him, right? But the people egging him on, oh no, oh my God, no, don't touch them, don't touch them, don't touch them. Look, in the old days, I would have said, look, this is this random psycho. It happens. You can't categorize a whole group of people who have political opinions, not something they were born with, but something they adopted and decided to adopt, right? In this case, political opinions. Based on some random psycho that does this. Guys, it's not random anymore. It's like, one of the commenters today was like, oh my God, I went on your Twitter account. I've never seen anything like that. And so if you're not one of us and you're just a random person, you probably have never seen it, right? But in my social media accounts, this kind of stuff is nonstop, nonstop. So it's not a little thing. The huge percentage of right-wingers, at least the ones that are online, love this kind of talk. Rittenhouse is their guardian angel. They love that he killed 2 people at a protest. They think that's just the greatest thing, and then got away with it. Oh, that's their dream come true, to kill left-wingers and get away with it.
And to become famous based off of
it. And guys, how do you know that it's not a tiny little random dudes? Rittenhouse raised millions of dollars. And he's on Tucker Carlson
they made a documentary about him. They invited him to speak at conferences.
And the right wing loves it. They don't go, oh wait, this is out. I mean, imagine if somebody invited O.J. Simpson to a progressive conference back right after he was acquitted. People are like, are you nuts? If they invited him to a Democratic conference, they would have kicked him out. Nobody would have accepted that. They would have thought that was the craziest thing in the world. You invite Kyle Rittenhouse to a place that's gonna be packed house for the right wing. They're like, he killed the left wingers. We love that guy. We love that guy for killing left wingers and getting away with. What else has Kyle Rittenhouse done in his life? Literally nothing.
Well, he did punch that girl on video like a couple weeks before the shooting.
So what is he famous? Obviously, John's kidding, although that does add to his violence.
I'm kidding. The object is the fact that they love that too. They don't mind that.
He's literally not known for anything but killing protesters, people they don't agree with, and getting away with it. So this, not only is it not surprising that this guy did this, there'll be many more. There'll be many more. There's now thousands of them roided up throughout the country, and I mean that like psychologically, and probably sometimes literally, right? And going, I can't wait to go to those protests with my weapons. When the guy said it, we told you that that's what they were thinking way before this shooting. We told you 100 times, and then his quotes are exactly what we told you.
Yeah, and by the way, so all the people who've been, again, filling them full of poison and then sending them out there, is there gonna be a reckoning? Internal, there's definitely not gonna be one on tape. Tucker Carlson is gonna be like, hey, obviously I don't agree with these people. I think the cops are right, but you can't go with guns to these things and counter. You can't do that. Andy Ngo's not gonna do that. He was right back today, after all this came out, he was back to talking about armed Antifa groups going around. Be very scared, there's tons of armed Antifa. Everyone get ready, get your guns. No, they're not gonna stop this. They could, they know what happens, but they don't care. They're not gonna stop it. They're perfectly happy with it.
Yeah, look, we will tell everybody, and we tell them right now, do not go to protests with weapons. Don't do it if you're a right winger, don't do it if you're a left winger, don't do it if you're anyone. It's a terrible idea, and you're gonna get people killed. It is not gonna protect you, it's gonna get either you or people around you killed. But do you think the right wing is gonna do likewise? No. Andy Ngo and Tucker Carlson and all those guys are gonna say, oh, you killed a 60-year-old lady? Good. Yeah. You can grab your weapon again and again and again and go to the next one and the next one. And let's see if we can just bully them and intimidate them through vigilante violence into agreeing to our fascism, because they can't win in a democracy anymore. They don't have enough votes, so they're saying, well, Democrats are weak anyway. Why don't we just start killing them and see if we can get away with it? That's exactly what every fascist takeover looks like.
And really fast, I want to end on this. Fox just finished, what, 3 solid weeks of, there is nothing more important than protest. How dare you do anything against these protesters? They're the best ever. Don't take their fuel. Don't ask them questions. Shooting them? No, that's fine. You can do that. These are left-wingers. They're not gonna have a problem. 5 isn't gonna do shows about how dare you go and shoot these protesters. Totally fine with it, because they're the wrong sorts of protesters from their point of view.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.